All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. And I have my steering wheel completed, but this is the location where most people, Tri-5 owners, have their tachometer mounted. Now, it really doesn't obscure much except the odometer and maybe your idiot lights. But you can see your speedometer if it works and the other gauges. And like I said, this is tradition. This is really the tradition. Now, the problem is I have a CPP modern tilt steering wheel. Now let's move this tach out of the way. Now, if I get up here close, you can see I don't have much room at all for the traditional mount, which uses a hose clamp. The rest of this space is all curvy, and you really can't easily mount anything to it. And honestly, if you have an old Sun, or Sun Pro, or the traditional 1970s tachometer, for that retro look, the mount that comes with those is really good. I used it on my Chevy 40 years ago. It fits on the back. The back of these old tachometers is curved, not flat, but it attaches to the back, and it comes down, and it has a rounded foot that is what you strap to the column. And like I say, it works well. Well, when you don't have enough room for the mount to fit, what are you going to do? Now, I asked this question 13 years ago, and I think it was on a message board, Tri-5 Classic Car message board. And I asked that question in 2012, and I never went back to read the responses I got. And so let me share some of those with you, and what you think about using it. I really like the look of the Tri-5 dash. I really like the look of it uncluttered. But of course, tradition would be where the tach is mounted. Now, some racers, they have the tachs up on the dash, closer to your line of sight, which isn't a bad idea. And actually, when we mount a tach on our cars, we just want the tach. We want it's just tradition to have a tach there. That's all. So it's going to be, I'll have to fabricate something to do that. And with it in place, it does, it kind of, now I can do that with my current tachometer. I can mount my current tachometer in this spot down here, but I'm going to have to fabricate. I'll have to fabricate. Now, see, the idiot lights are still visible. They're kind of covered up. But is this where I really want my tachometer? And there's other options. And there was a guy that answered my question 13 years ago, and he used something a little more unique. And there was no modification. There was no holes in the dash. Nothing was modified. All right, he suggested, if you can see through the glare, that using this hole, if you can see it, this hole in your molding to fabricate a mount. For a second, let me grab this like this. To fabricate the mount to put this tach right there. Now, of course, I've got the bottom of the original mount is right there. It kind of looks ugly. But if I cut that off and made a mount and put it right there, it wouldn't be in the way. I'd put it up there in the corner a little better. It wouldn't be in the way. It'd be very visible, and it wouldn't impede. So if I put the mount right here and use that hole, I would have the new tachs, of course, don't weigh much at all. So it wouldn't be a problem to mount it there. The wiring could either go under the wiring could go under the molding, or it could go down behind this part of the dash. It could go down there. No holes to drill, except just making the mount. So what are your thoughts? Should the tachometer go right here or over here? Now now 13 years ago he posted a photo of his tach mounted over here in this corner, and it looked really good. Looked really good, and it looked very natural being there, and it wasn't in the way of. Now he had one of the more modern steering clusters that had new gauges, digital or whatever, and it looked really good, and it didn't obstruct anything. So I'm kind of stuck between those two choices. Do I stay with the traditional mount, or put it over here in the left corner of the windshield? Well, that's my question, guys, and I want to hear what you have to say. All right, guys. Well, that's going to do it for this abbreviated version of the Shade Tree Garage. Please leave me your comments below, and we'll see you next time here in the Shade Tree Garage.